All right, Shalom, we rolling. Starting off facing east, giving all glory, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akims and the elders. So like you salutations to the Akims and the Akos. It's pushing his truth. The brothers, the sincere brothers and sisters out there, pushing his truth in 100%. In all honesty, being subject into the gospel, into the correct doctrine. It's the brother Yashar coming in from the camp, Children of the Light. It's Tuesday night. And once again, man, we finna get right. And as you can see on the screen, by looking at the article, you can tell what this topic is going to be on. I actually have 3 different articles that have happened within the last week. And, we're going to link them to this upcoming prophecy of Jacob's trouble, all right? Referring to the book of Jeremiah chapter 30. So let's go ahead and get into the first article, man. This will be about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It says, National Guard Chief warns of unintended consequences of transferring Air Guard units to Space Force. So the National Guard Chief, who is the head of the state's National Guard, he's basically telling the government that the different airplanes and jets and fighter jets that we have, y'all ain't finna just come and confiscate our shit, our state property, just because y'all the government. We're gonna read into it though. Let's see. And of course, we're going to have some precepts on it too. So, okay, I'm going to start right here. Second paragraph. It says, in an exclusive interview with military.com this week, Hokanson, who is set to retire as the Army and Air National Guard's top officer in August, which is next month, urged causing as the Air Force, which is, United States military, wages a legislative fight to move the Guard units with space missions into the active duty Space Force by bypassing states' governor's authority. Okay, let's highlight that. By bypassing state governor's authority. Okay, so once again, in which we seen that in the movie Civil War, you had Texas, Florida, and California annexed from the United States. Now, California is the biggest the biggest state in the West. Texas is the biggest state in the South. And Florida, is very populated as well. Now, with them 3 main states annexing, which was shown in the movie, which is most likely going to happen, predictive programming. So it's most likely going to be them 3 states to do it. That's going to lead other smaller states around them to do the same thing. Okay? And that's where you get your states versus government. All right. It says the Air Force sent a proposal to Congress, hoping it will pass legislation allowing the shift. Now, this guy Hokanson, he said, quote unquote, anytime you change a law or precedents that's been in effect for a while, you want to be careful of the unintended consequences that may be related to that. Hokanson said, anytime you change things, you have to kind of be concerned about where does it start, where does it end. But I want to highlight right here, he said, let me highlight it real quick. There we go. It says you want to be careful of the unintended consequences that may be related to that. Right. So right before our eyes, man, they already given us the pieces to the puzzle of what's going to come down the line and what's going to happen. Because as we take all these different things, like this article, the other articles I'm about to read, when we see the news with Trump, the so-called assassination attempt, and then coincidentally, as that's happening, simultaneously at the same time that's happening, you got Joe Biden stepping out of office and Kamala Harris coming up, which me and the elders was just talking. That $81 million that she supposedly got donated within 3 days or 4 days, that money was already set up for her to have. All right, this has already been set up. Okay. So once you get to understand, this is what's called being occupied in prophecy. That's why I bring that scripture out damn near every lesson that I do. Okay, phone at 15%. It kind of went a little fast. It was just like 21. But anyways, that's why I bring that scripture out so much, because when you occupied in prophecy, you watching the things that's happening, the things that's going on, which that's Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 1. But you watching the things that's happening going on, you're able to pinpoint certain details on why things are the way they are. Like, once again, the staged assassination, This article I'm reading, okay, what's it called? When famines hit and hyperinflation hit, we already watching and can tell you why it's gonna happen. Okay, so let's go get this precept real quick, in which, as you know, these precepts, man, like the elder Tahar say, it's like a recorded. What did he say? To paraphrase it. Basically, we use these precepts over and over and over, but that's what time it is. Okay, so if you hear the same scripture 100 times in 3 months, and you still ain't hearkening to it, what it's talking about, then that's on you. Okay, Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, which is America, spiritually Egypt, because the same shit they was doing, the same shit we doing. And of course, nobody had a name for America back in the days of Egypt or in the days of Isaiah. That's why he called it Egypt, all right? Referenced it as Egypt. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. Right, that's the how shall come in on that mothership. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Now because that's talking about Judgment Day, before that happens, this has to happen. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, aka the Americans against the Americans, Democrats against the Republics, red pill, blue pill. That's why that lady, when she had that dream, she said the 4 angels came to her and showed her 4 prophecies that was going to happen in a dream. It showed fighting between people in red and people in blue, and she didn't know exactly what that meant. Well, all you have to do is look up what's the Democratic national color? It's blue. What's the Republican national color? It's red. So that's who it's talking about. And they make up half and half of your American society. So if you got half Americans fighting half Americans, then it ain't gonna finna be no America too much longer. Anyways, verse 2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So just go watch Civil War and any other little Civil War movies, and that shows that, all right? Verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. See, that's why I say spirits of Egypt. Not physical Egypt, the spirit. Spiritually, that's why the scriptures say spiritually known as Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritually known as Egypt, And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So that goes back into the Illuminati, the Council of 13. All they're gonna seek into the devil because and as you can see, I was just watching John Todd video right here. I just finished it, so now I'm on the 3A. But John Todd does a real good job, and these names is gonna keep getting repeated because, like I said, that's the time that we in. You have to know these different things and how different people and ministries and preachers and teachers and people that Eustace Mullins, John Todd, just to name 2 of them, how the things that they say and teach and talk about, they line up with biblical prophecies and things that's to come in this world. That's why they're important. Some things they'll say that's off, like John Todd, the whole Christian and everybody can be saved, but he's an Edomite, so he has to say those things. The message is him giving out the basically exposing the Illuminati and how they run, because he used to be a part of them and now he's not. So if you can have somebody that used to be in that, used to seek to the idols, to the charmers, and to the familiar spirits and the wizards, like it shows in verse 3, you have somebody that's coming out of that and giving it, you have to listen to what they saying because they give you the hardcore facts, all right? And let's see. Okay, I'll stop at verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, Yahweh Shai, because he gonna kick their ass when he come back on Judgment Day. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts, right? Because in the kingdom, we're gonna be ruling these other nations, okay? Starting with the Edomites, we're gonna be ruling these other nations, simple and plain. And Yahweh Shai is gonna be king over Israel, and he gonna the elect is gonna be joint heirs to the throne with him, all right? And if you continue from verse 5 to like 10. I'm not gonna read it but that's just going into the withering away of America from the bridges, which those are set up to be blown up. But everything in America is fucking being destroyed. Empty buildings, empty apartments, just trashed out. The infrastructure is breaking down, it's rotting away. So sidewalks all fucked up, roads all fucked up. So that's going into that. That's emphasizing that. All right, verse 6 to verse 9. Verse 6 to 10. Okay, let's go into the next article. It's only got about 10 minutes. I'm on, I don't want to keep videos like this too long, so I want to go about 10 to 20, 20 to 25 minutes tops. All right, so we're going to go here. So this just happened, Monday? July 19th? Nope, I'm sorry, that's what? Friday? Yup, Friday. So it says, global tech outage news. Okay, so yeah, a global outage hit. As you can see, tech disruptions across the world hit airlines, banks, businesses, schools, and government, along with some health and emergency services. So let's read that slowly. Tech disruptions across the world. We talking about the whole world, all right? All nations, all countries, all states, cities, everywhere. Tech disruptions across the world have hit airlines. You gotta travel. Banks. You gotta spend your money. Businesses. You gotta have your business, sell your goods. Schools. You gotta teach the little nappy head kids. Government. You gotta have your government, right? You gotta have your mints. With the mint, the mint, it prints all the money in America. You gotta have your judicial, executive, and legislative system. You gotta have your Supreme Court. You gotta have your president, even though one almost got killed, so-called, and one dropped out of the presidential ballot. You gotta have those, right, to lead a country. Along with some health, you gotta have your health. Health is wealth. And emergency services. You gotta have the police come put down the order. You gotta have the fire department. You gotta have the ambulance come stitch you up, take you to the hospital, get your tape your leg up. You just got shot. One expert said it could be the largest IT outage in history. But while the whole time that's happening, you get on Instagram, you get on Twitter, social media, ain't nobody reporting about this, ain't nobody talking about this. That's showing how blind the American people is. Even though they said that this happened around the world, we didn't hear. This wasn't no major. Wasn't nobody talking about this in America, but the prophets of the Lord is talking about it. Now I see my phone at 7%, so it's losing power fast. So I'm definitely speed through this, but I'm gonna still make it edifying, bring out the precepts I need, and at the same time, make it loud and clear. What's behind this IT outage? The second paragraph, second bulletin. A software update for Microsoft Windows. See, there you go. Microsoft is a household name. Everybody got an Xbox. Everybody got Sony equipment. You got Sony speakers in your car. You got Sony laptop. You got Sony Bluetooth. Sony made PS4, PlayStation, didn't they? Didn't Microsoft buy out Sony, I believe? Or other way around, something like that. Anyways, a software update for Microsoft Windows operating systems issued by the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike was the root cause of the chaos. Okay, so CrowdStrike's response to this was the company's CEO said, quote unquote, a fix has been deployed, but getting systems back in order will be a lengthy process. CrowdStrike promised customers full transparency on how the outage occurred to prevent anything like this from happening again. The U.S. hit hard. About 3,000 flights into or out of the U.S. were canceled Friday, according to FlightAware.com. Additionally, disruptions took place across the country, from 911 centers to driver services and even blood donations. So, motherfuckers couldn't even make flights. Flights had to be canceled. And we know how important American business is, and motherfuckers thinking they finna get out here and vacate and go places and do things when your ass can't even catch a flight because the motherfucker don't knock something off the motherfucking grid, the IT grid of the whole world, not just the country you in, nigga, the whole world, nigga. So Yup. So I'm just looking at different see, I like this. Look, a screen grab from a video taken by William Sikora II shows travelers at the Philadelphia International Airport on Friday morning. As you can see, absolute madness, lines moving nowhere at Philadelphia International Airport. Yeah, man. So once you take away the internet and the Wi-Fi systems and the social media and the phone in general, the phone access, the internet. Once you take away the internet access from the American people, that's when you have their mind, their body, and their spirit, because that's all they know. It's the digital era. It's the digital age. So once you take their digital equipment away, you have nothing left but a body. That's why all these motherfuckers that you see in this picture right here, them gonna be the same motherfuckers that when it's time for that MO to the T to the B, they're gonna be the same ones. Yup, go ahead, sign me up. I'm with it. Cause I ain't got nothing else to lose. I ain't got shit. I can't buy nothing without it. I can't sell nothing without it. Like this fat ass nigga right here. I'm zooming in, big belly ass nigga right here. What the fuck you doing at the airport looking like you just drunk 12 cases of beer? But anyways, them gonna be the same motherfuckers that signed up for the MOTB, man. So one more article and then I'm gonna end it with the precepts real quick. Because once again, I'm pulling all these articles to emphasize what Jacob's trouble is gonna look like. Okay, so it says NORAD F-35 intercepts plane southwest of Milwaukee. North American Aerospace Defense Command F-35 aircraft responded on Wednesday, July 17th to a temporary flight restriction violation southwest of Milwaukee. So man, basically, unidentified aircraft entered into, American territory, and because like I said, I don't have to read the whole article, but yeah, they entered into American territory. Not much was said about who it was, what country it was, what's the origin of this aircraft. Of course, we know it probably wasn't a Chariot because it would have been a video or something. But which it could have been a Chariot. It's probably why they won't say shit. But which that has me thinking now, it could actually been a Chariot. That's why they ain't saying shit. But either way it goes, whether it was a Chariot or whether it was a different country, different nation, it could have been one of them state motherfuckers that's saying, look, fuck y'all and all that shit. We gonna do our thing. Fuck the government. We gonna rock with our state. We gonna annex. Whoever it was, a chariot of the Lord, aircraft from a different country, an aircraft from one of these, rowdy conservative motherfuckers that's against the government. Whoever it was, they are enemy of the Lord. They are enemy of America. And if you seen the movie Leave the World Behind, that's what it remind me of. Because in that movie, at the last scene, it showed the mother and it showed the black girl and the white woman look up. And they seen them two jets coming in, and them two jets launched the missiles on, I think they was in New York City, if I'm not mistaken. They launched the missiles on that city, and then that was the end of the movie. And you remember in the movie, it was showing you them plane, like them crop dusters. They was flying overhead, and they was dropping messages that said "Death to America." They dropped them in Chinese, which is Mandarin. They dropped them in Iranian. And, they was talking about it was being dropped across the country in a few different languages. So, man, it's not looking good for America, man. America's about to be destroyed from the inside and from the outside. So with that, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30. We're going to start at verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." So who shall be saved? Remember, Jacob's name was changed to Esau. I mean, what the fuck am I talking about? Jacob's name was changed to Israel, okay? I was thinking about that. Jacob is the Jacob I love, but Esau I've hated, But that's why I say, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Israel's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, right? Because the 2/3 going to have to be judged, but ultimately in the kingdom, they're going to be good. And the 1/3, we gonna be the ones that saved out of Jacob's trouble. And we're gonna see that later on in the chapter. It said, verse 8, "For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." Right, because right now we serving these other nations. That's why they have stores in all of our neighborhoods. That's why we subject to Esau's payments and to his money system, to his financial system. That's why he get the taxes. You know, your check's supposed to be $800. After taxes, it's only $650. You wondering why you coming up $100 or $200 short every month for rent? Because your ass is subject to payments out here. You getting taxed by these other nations. All right, these Chinese Moabite motherfuckers, they got our women out here with these fucking wigs on and weaves on, fucking putting spirits on the motherfuckers and running up. That's $1 billion industry. The hair and shit, the weave and the wigs and shit. That's over $1 billion industry. All right, and you think that money going to Israel? No, that money is going to these other nations. So that's what's called having their yoke around our necks. Verse 9. But they shall serve the Lord their God and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Right, because in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to go Yahushua, then the 12 disciples, then King David. As you can see, because he's going to bring David back in reincarnation back into his power in the kingdom of heaven. Then it's go after him, then it's going to be the elect. But we all going to be living great now. We all going to be living lavish. It don't matter who you, if you the first motherfucker in the kingdom of heaven or the 144,000th. Nigga, your ass, just know, nigga, you made it. You good. Straight up. Verse 10, therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, Israel, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, which is America. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So the Lord is saying, don't even worry about it. If you my elect, my servant, don't worry. Even though I'm in heaven, I'm not on this earth walking with you. Even though I'm intangible, which means you can't see me, hear me, or touch me. But through the spirit, you can follow, you know, you can, but through the spirit, you connected with me. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua saying, don't even worry about it. Continue to be my servant. And when the day comes, I will save you out of it. Like the elders was just saying in their lesson. The Lord sent the crows, the bird, the crows, food. They sent Ezekiel food through the crows. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he tell Abraham to build an ark for his sons and daughters and saved them? You know, while the people laughed and mocked, oh, he's crazy ass motherfucker building an ark and shit, putting animals on that motherfucker. What, he want me to, well, you need me to help, you need me some help, bro? You need some help with that cow over there, motherfucker looking a little big. How you gonna pick that motherfucker up? Not even knowing he had spiritual guidance from the Lord to, nigga, I'm gonna be the one to be saved and y'all ass gonna be destroyed for y'all wickedness. Didn't he save Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah? He told him to take his family and don't turn back. And guess what? His wife turned back. She got turned to a pillar of salt, which you can look that up right now. That pillar of salt is still here to this day, as the Bible spoke about. And Lot, he was saved from it, okay? So, verse 11, for I am with thee. Remember, now he's speaking to the elect. Saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee. Yet I will not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Right? So, which of course Jacob's trouble is going to take place in America. But whether you in America, North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Eurasia, Australia, if you part of your elect, you're going to be saved on Judgment Day. You're going to be saved. All right? And you're going to get to partake in the ass whooping and the ass whooping of these other nations, and also in the gathering together of these other nations, top leaders, they kings, because they're gonna be the first fruits of the slavery in the kingdom. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna get one more precept because I see I'm at 2% right now, no milk, and this is book of 2nd Ezra. I'm gonna take it from 1 to 6, and you know, real quick, and I'm gonna just go into it because this is describing the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15. It's 63 verses. So as you read on down, that's basically going very in depth into what Jacob's trouble is going to look like. But I'm going to use these scriptures for time's sake. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. That's exactly why the men of the Lord, GMS, starting with the elders of GMS, to the brothers, the apostles, the bishops, the deacons, you know, going down to the affiliate camps, to all the elect. That's why we speak in prophecy these things, okay? And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. And that's speaking on the wicked, the least that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, the 2/3 of Israel who don't believe. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled. Right? So that's what's going to happen. That's going to be the beginning of Jacob's trouble. And then let's go into detail real quick.